The year was 1955, cruising was big, and hot rods were fast. In the world of racing, horsepower was king, but design was nothing more than cannibalization of junkyard automobiles.
My wife said, "What are you going to name him?" And I said, "Well, race cars aren't generally named."
But there was one hot rod, one very different hot rod, that changed the design standard forever.
So she said, "Well, it's got to be a glass slipper because look at it, it looks like a slipper and it's made out of glass."
The glass slipper is a Sacramento hot rod legend.
Many have tried to imitate it. There's nothing in the world like it.
Inside, it was made from a mix of used junkyard parts, but the glass slipper's outer shell was made from a new space-age material.
I was also into airplanes, and I remember airplanes were starting to be built with fiberglass, and it's like, wow.
Fresh out of high school, brothers Roy and Ed Cortopassi decided to veer away from the conventional hot rod materials and use fiberglass to shape their car.
I enjoyed building and never got much into the racing part of it.
This is Roy Cortopassi. His brother Ed passed away in 2014. Sitting in his place is Doug Butler, his crew chief for 40 plus years.
I believe the price tag came out $900 to build that car.
The glass slipper is the first hot rod to use fiberglass, but the Cortopassi brothers didn't exactly know what they were doing.
Yet every time you touched it, somehow the fibers just made you itch, and you sanded it and made you itch.
The slipper's fiberglass body was a first in the hot rod world, and so was the fully enclosed bubble-shaped windshield.
I don't know, I wanted it to look like an airplane. Airplanes all have canopies, so it's got to have a canopy.
The design worked out. On the first test drive, Ed took the slipper up to 181 miles per hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats.
The top end, you could just hear that thing come on, and that's a lot of the aerodynamics, I think, in that.
From then on, the glass slipper was touring the nation, and it even went overseas.
The West Coast, Hawaii, the East Coast, and off to the east to England.
And for a few months, the slipper even held the world speed record.
It always did well.
We got so many trophies, we decided not to take the trophy, take the trophy money.
It wasn't always a winning streak. Just before one of the races, a fuel line came loose on the glass slipper, and it caught fire.
Burnt one side of the car. I got burnt pretty good.
The guys eventually got the slipper back on the road and even got a lot more life out of it. But in 1963, Doug and Ed decided to retire from racing.
And I told Ed, I said, you know, we're really hitting a zone that we're not prepared for because cars were changing.
And just like that, the glass slipper was garaged.
Here comes the glass slipper. Stand by.
It would be nearly 20 years before the glass slipper hit the track again.
I mean, he knew the car had a lot of accolades, but it wasn't until we started running Nostalgia that he came to understand the car was famous.
This is Ed Cortopassi Jr. By 1981, he started helping his dad, Ed Sr., and Doug run the glass slipper at nostalgia races around the nation.
I mean, I can remember people coming up asking for his autograph, and he'd be like, "You want my autograph?" And they're like, "Yeah, you know, it's the glass slipper."
The races weren't about competition. They were about remembering a time when hot rodding was simple, and Ed Jr. got to relive those times with his dad. He even got to drive the slipper.
As a kid growing up around it, that was like a dream come true to actually run the car.
The design and ingenuity of the glass slipper shaped the hot rods of today.
We had a chance to do something that's impossible to do nowadays, you know, a young kid coming out of high school.
The glass slipper is a symbol of a time when a little mechanical know-how and a wild idea could win a race.
Everybody's car was different. Now you go to a drag race and every car looks the same, the motors are the same, the body's the same. It has to be the same because there's too much money in it. And we had fun. We didn't make any money.
From the memorable track of the Glass Slipper, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the back road. Hey, thanks for watching, and watch more videos just like this. Also, write in the comments where I should be checking out next.